Jake Paul recently released the first episode of his new Uncut series. The concept for the series is a reality show about his life, except everything is real. Jake explains the Hollywood life is insane, and believes there's a lot the audience can learn from it.
I want Jake Paul Uncut to be that authentic, real piece of content on YouTube.
The whole episode does a good job of making you feel bad for Jake, but I couldn't help but notice some pretty questionable things that made me wonder if he's still putting on an act for the cameras. First of all, you cannot make an uncut, raw series about yourself. If you're the one reviewing or editing the episodes, you naturally want to put out the most sympathetic version of yourself. And even if you're not reviewing it or editing it, your editor still has a vested interest in keeping you happy because you're paying them. Now, most of the episode was about JERIKA and how they broke up, so let's dive into the questionable JERIKA moments.
I've never had like emotions or like feelings, bro. Like real feelings. Like,
You've never had real feelings?
for someone, that's what I mean.
He's talking about how Erika is the only one who made him feel real emotions. It's a very bold statement. That would mean he felt nothing for Alyssa, and it would mean he didn't actually care that she was associated with Logan. But if he did have feelings during that situation, then he's just lying again for the sake of reality TV.
I'm not breaking up with her because I want to. I'm breaking up with her because that's what we both need to be better people. Like, we love each other like almost too much.
While this may be true in their eyes, it also screams immaturity. Like his friend Anthony said, when they get in arguments, they need to sit down and have a level-headed conversation. And if things get too heated to handle on their own, they should seek help from a therapist or friend to be a neutral third party. Which brings me to this point. You shouldn't talk about things in your uncut series that you haven't even spoken to the other person about.
You think people are amazing and then they stab you in the back, or they get the fame and they get the clout and they start to get the money and then they start to get lazy and they like give up.
Team 10's a family. Yeah, we make money together. Yeah, we make content. Yeah, we do this. But at the end of the day, we're family. You don't want over your family, would you?
No.
I guess some people would, you know?
Honestly, I can't tell if this is forced or if Jake is actually oblivious to how crazy he is to his loved ones. Jake is constantly telling us that he's been f***ed over by everyone. But honestly, he does stupid shit that makes people want to leave. I understand being there for your friend in hard times, but Jake takes things too far, like the ridiculous pranks that become a health hazard. Even though the pranks were fake, they were still far too dangerous. And hooking up with girls instead of trying to self-reflect and make things better with his so-called too much love for Erika. He calls it being f***ed over, but he literally set himself up to lose important people because of how careless and spontaneous he can be. When virtually everyone in Team 10 has left you, there's a very clear problem. Jake tries to shift the blame on everyone who left, but when you're the common denominator, the problem is probably you. He's just too self-absorbed or stubborn to see things objectively. There are also moments in this episode that I needed to call out, for Jake and Erika's lack of maturity and self-awareness.
Erika Costell, bro. I can't even make it through like a singing lesson without like fighting.
What are you guys fighting about? Stupid shit.
Yeah, bro, it's to the point where it's like, I don't even know.
You should never fight over text message. So many things can be misunderstood or miscommunicated. He could have called her or met up with her in person to talk things through. As psychologist David Ledden says, conflict is inevitable in any relationship, but how couples communicate during a conflict goes a long way. If you find that you're just not getting through to your significant other, it's time for you to rethink your communication style.
Our relationship is just like so complicated because of the business and the personal side, and she used to be my assistant, and we all have our insecurities.
It's weird how Jake brought up the assistant history. This probably means his role as her boss carried over into their relationship, which is really unhealthy. Psychologist Lisa Fons explains that controlling partners cause their partner to lose a sense that they even have a right to their own perspectives. And a lot of people have been speculating that Erika has trust issues because as Jake's assistant, she allegedly would be responsible for flying out Instagram models for Jake when he was on and off with Alyssa. Overall, I just can't trust Jake on this new series, mainly because you can't make an uncut series about yourself. It can become way too biased because you know the cameras are rolling, and you can plan out your day to look better on camera. I can't tell if Jake is embellishing certain scenes, but I can say he's a drama magnet. He's immature, lacking self-awareness, and not objective with people around him. He ends up hurting the most important people in his life. As neurochemist Srini Pillai says, selfish lovers are often not self-connected. The greatest obstruction to the selfish lover is that he or she is afraid to learn at a later stage in life. It's like asking an adult to start to learn how to swim. It's much more difficult later on in life. While it is difficult to learn, it's not impossible. Hopefully, Jake has some self-realization down the road. What do you think about the concept of this series? Let me know in the comments below.